Today's VRS quick tutorial is for the Ferrari 488 GT3 EVO at circuit Zolder on iRacing. I'm VRS coach and professional Forcilia driver Pablo Lopez, and I will be showing you how to get fast and consistent lap times on this very challenging track. For the first turn, you should start on the far right in 4th gear and begin braking to 60% as you pass the third to last zero branding on the right here and slowly taper off the brakes. Start downshifting to 2nd and begin your turning when you get to the grey wall and continue easing off the brakes. A car length or so before the apex, you should begin accelerating over the curb and get to full throttle as you land. Open the car naturally to the right, exiting wide into the AstroTurf and upshift into 3rd. Before it ends, get back onto the track and move back to the left to get ready for turn 2. On this turn, you should start our braking at 50% briefly just before the sand on the left, and then ease off the brakes into minimal trail braking as we approach into this slightly late apex. You will downshift into 2nd gear and throw the car into the right as you cross the blue cone here. Continue trail braking until here, then aggressively get on the throttle, then apex here without going over the curb, open the line wide naturally and exit no further than the red and white curbing to avoid unsettling the car and losing traction. You will be taking turn 3 full throttle by gently rotating the car to the right, clipping the curb here and then opening up the steering angle and naturally moving to the left side of the track. You should be far left in 4th gear with 2 tires on the line for this next right-hander. Look for the tarmac entrance on the left and start your braking just as you cross it, but be careful on the grass here. Brake less than 50% maximum pressure and then ease off into a long trail brake around 10 to 15%. Downshift into 3rd and start your turn in before the 2nd tarmac entrance here. Look for the apex, which will be over here where the curb is taller. Continue trail braking, then start accelerating well before the apex here. Get to full throttle right away and clip the curb here, then open the line naturally, exiting wide using all the curb, but be careful of going too wide. You can clip the sand slightly, but if you go too far, you risk a 1x penalty. Be sure to get back onto the track before the curb ends. As you move down the straight, you should get 5th gear and get all the way to the right before the 100 meters mark. As you pass it, you should start your braking a car length or so before the grey wall on the right, no more than 75% in a straight line, and downshift into 2nd. Wait until the end of the red wall here to turn in. Begin trail braking and start accelerating to 75% just before you hit the curb. Get to full throttle when you land and aggressively attack the curb, but be careful not to go too deep or you will unsettle the car like I did here. Exit wide on the left, but here get back on the track before the curb ends. This next corner is flat out, so you can stay mostly left on approach, then hug the curb like this in 4th gear. Stay left to set up the next triple chicane, which is a right-left-right. Approaching as left as possible, you will start your braking where the white line turns dark here, or at the beginning of the red-white wall here. Maintain 75% maximum pressure and downshift into 1st. As you pass the end of the curbing here on the left, start your turning in and sharply trail brake into the 1st apex. Start accelerating just before the apex, but avoid going too deep to avoid the penalty and unsettling the car. You will need to sacrifice this exit and the next one to set up the last corner. Control the throttle, then quickly leave before accelerating over the curb, again being careful. Sacrifice the exit, change direction and attack the curb like this while avoiding the sausages and the 1x penalty. Open the line naturally using all of the curb on exit and maintain full throttle as you upshift and clip the apex like this. Then use all the track on exit and stay left for the approach to the next hairpin. As you cross the 100 meters mark, you should start your braking at 80% in a straight line and start downshifting into 1st. You will want to turn in late and trail brake to the late apex, where you will clip the curb and control the throttle before going full gas as you pass the end of the curb here. Exit wide using all the track and then stay left on the curb and a straight line through the chicane ending up on the right like this. You will want to stay right up to set up the last chicane and start your braking between the 100 meters mark and the bridge at 75% in a straight line as you downshift into 1st. Start your turn in as the tarmac change here and trail brake to the apex. Get all of the curb like this, but avoid the sausage and control the throttle to 75% while sacrificing the exit. Change direction when you get to the middle of the road, then aggressively attack the curb, but be careful of going too far or you will get an off-track penalty. Upshift into 2nd and exit wide using all of the curb, but make sure you get back on the track before the sand to avoid losing speed down the main straight. Now that I showed you the step-by-step way to get fast lap times in the Ferrari at Zolder, let me tell you how you can use the VRS software like you have seen in the video to improve your times too. First, you should go to Virtual Racing School and sign up for a free account. Check it out, and if it works for you, you can upgrade to get access to all my tutorials, telemetry and telemetry of your own laps so you can compare them to mine and continue improving. I am Pablo Lopez and I welcome you to find out about all that VRS has to offer. Just go to the URL on the screen.